Time's up! Here are the answers. Kindly check your own word. When we talk about the elements of art, it refers to the basic elements that are used by an artist in creating art itself. They are what you use to create an aesthetically pleasing work. When we make art, we need to understand and apply these 7 elements of art. They are line, shape, color, value, form, texture, and space. First of the 7 elements is line. Line is the most basic visual element. It can also be defined as a mark made by a tool such as brush, pen, or stick, or simply a moving point. Lines can be used to define shapes and figures, but also to indicate motion, emotion, and other elements. The second element is called shape. Shape is the property of a 2-dimensional form, length and width. There are 2 main types of shape. We have geometric and organic. Kapag sinabi natin na geometric, ito ay tumutukoy sa mga hugis na may tuwid na linya, tulad ng mga basic na hugis na madalas nating nakikita. Sa madaling salita, ang geometric ay may eksaktong hugis. At ang isang halimbawa nito ay ang Pyramids of Giza na inyong makikita ngayon sa video. Ang organic shape naman ay ang tinatawag natin na abstract. Ito ay walang eksaktong hugis. Ang isang halimbawa nito ay ang Maori facial tattoo. Then our third element is called color. It is one of the most dominant elements. Artists can use colors for many reasons other than to simply duplicate reality, including setting moods and highlighting importance. Sa madaling salita, ang kulay ang nagbibigay buhay sa mga imahe at bagay. There are 3 properties of color. We have hue, value, and intensity. Ano ba ang pagkakaiba nilang tatlo? Simulan natin sa hue. Hue refers to the name of the color. Ito ang pagkakakilanlan ng mga kulay na ating ginagamit. Then we have value, which refers to the tint and shade. To put it simply, it is the degree of lightness or darkness of a color. Sa value natin siniset yung tingkad o yung labo ng mga kulay na ating gagamitin. And lastly, the intensity, which refers to brightness. Ito naman ang tumutukoy sa kabuuang liwanag ng isang imahe. Next, ang isang halimbawa ng paggamit ng kulay at ng 3 properties nito ay ang Lady and the Unicorn. Our fourth element is related to the third one, which is value. Again, value is defined as the degree of lightness or darkness. The difference between values is called contrast. Contrast is simply defined as the difference or yung tinatawag nating pagkakaiba. Here is a vase with an image from Judgment of Paris. Makikita yung contrast sa pagitan ng imahe at ng background color. For our fifth element, we have the so-called form. Objects that are three-dimensional having length, width, and height. They can be viewed from many sides. Forms can take up space and value. Today, it is also known as 3D or three-dimensional objects. Ito yung mga objects or yung mga bagay na pwede mong mahawakan at makita sa iba't ibang anggulo. And here is an example. Queen Nefertiti, an example of a painted limestone. Our sixth element is texture. Texture is the feeling of a surface, real or represented. Ito ay maaaring tumukoy sa gaspan o kinis ng isang bagay o ng isang art or media tulad ng mga larawan o imahe na pwedeng ipakita sa pamamagitan ng mga ilusyon at ito ang ilan sa kanilang mga halimbawa. And one of the examples during the medieval period is the Venus of Willendorf. Last but not the least of the seven elements is space. Space is used to refer both to depth, real or represented, and also to the general surface area within a work of art. Sa madaling salita, ang layunin nito ay ipakita ang lalim o layo ng mga bagay sa isa't isa sa isang work of art. Through careful variations in value, particularly in shading, the use of darker colors are used to create the illusion of shadows. Itong halimbawa ng paggamit ng shadows ay para ipakita yung depth ng isang imahe para magmukha siyang three-dimensional although ito ay isang picture or artwork lamang. In two-dimensional images, they use the positive and negative space. Ano ba yung positive space? Positive space refers to the part of the artwork that takes up space. Sa madaling salita, ito yung image itself na umu-occupy ng isang space. Then, it is followed by negative space. This is the area around the object. This element of art also refers to the parts of the picture, which is the foreground, middle ground, and background na nabanggit ko kanina lang. Here is an image with example of the foreground, middle ground, and background. Magagamit din natin ang konseptong ito sa pagkuha ng mga larawan or pictures. So isa sa mga halimbawa nito ay ang Tomb of the Diver. Our next topic is the principles of art. These are the standards or rules to be observed by an artist in creating works of art. They are used on how to create and organize artwork. There are 7 principles of art. We have balance, contrast, emphasis, movement, pattern, rhythm, and unity. Let's start off with balance. Balance is known as distribution of visual weight on either side of the vertical axis. Symmetrical balance uses the same characteristics. Asymmetrical uses different but equally weighted features. Pagmasdan ng larawang ito ng rose window. Kung inyong susuriin, ipinakikita dito ang pagkakapantay-pantay ng bigat ng imahe na inirerepresenta. Tignan ang hugis na ginamit. Ito ang tinatawag na symmetrical, kung saan ay magkakatapat at magkapareho ang hugis na ginamit sa magkabilang pwesto. Ngayon naman, tingnan ang imahe na ginamit sa loob ng magkatapat na hugis. Magkaibang anyo pero magkapareho ang bigat na nire-representa nito. Ang tawag naman dito ay asymmetrical. Next is contrast. It is the arrangement of opposite elements, light versus dark, rough versus smooth, small versus large, etc. in a composition so as to create visual interest. We have here an example of an Egyptian painting which shows the large versus small figures. Ipinakikita sa painting na ito ang kaibahan sa laki ng mga imahe na nagsisimbolo ng estado o katungkulan ng mga nasa imahe. Halimbawa, ang pinakamalaki ay nagre-representa ng mga Diyos. Ang sunod na mas maliit ay ang mga hari o ang mga pharaoh. At ang pinakamaliit naman ay ang mga ordinaryong tao o ang mga alipin. Next is emphasis. This is used to make certain parts of an artwork stand out. It creates the center of interest or focal point. It is the place which an artist draws your eye first. This can be accomplished through any of the visual elements, and those elements are as follows. It can be location, color, line, and symmetry. Ito yung tinutukoy natin na makaagaw atensyon. Tulad halimbawa, kapag gusto natin bumili ng sapatos, ito yung disenyo agad na pupukaw sa iyong atensyon o makakakuha ng atensyon mo para doon ka pumunta. Isa sa mga halimbawa nito ay ang court of the Empress Theodora. Kapag tinignan ng larawan, ay ang Empress agad ang aagaw ng iyong atensyon dahil sa kanyang anyo at kasuotan. Ganon din ang kulay. Next is movement. This is how the eye moves through the composition, leading the attention of the viewer from one aspect of the work to another, so that it can create the illusion of an action. Tingnan ang sculpture ni Myron de Discobulus. Ipinakikita dito na bagamat hindi siya gumagalaw, ay mabivisualize naman natin ang kanyang susunod na galaw base sa forma ng kanyang katawan. Next is pattern. The repetition of specific visual elements such as a unit of shape or form. A method used to organize surfaces in a consistent, regular manner. So pagmasdan natin ang sunod na larawan na tinatawag na Griffin and Arimaspian. Ang pattern na tinutukoy sa imahe na ito ay ang disenyo na ginamit sa gilid ng bilog. Next is rhythm. This is the regular repetition of or alternation in elements to create cohesiveness and interest. Ang isang halimbawa nito ay ang Villa of Mystery. Pagmasdan ang disenyo sa likod ng imahe, yung kulay, ito ay paulit-ulit. Ngunit iba't ibang imahe ang ating makikita na tila ba nagbibigay ng kwento sa bawat pangyayari. Next is unity. This is visually pleasing agreement among the elements in a design. It is the feeling that everything in the work of art that works together and look like it fits. Daling salita, kailangan magkakatugma at magandang tingnan. Ito naman ang Head of Alexander, na isang halimbawa ng mosaic. Gumamit sila ng humigit kumulang na 1.5 million tesserae na binubuo ng mga cubed pieces of colored glass and stones. Ang iba dito ay sobrang liit para maipakita lamang ng maayos ang tinatawag nating detalye. At para sa inyong home-based activity, you should make an artwork having your name inside the box using the different elements and principles of art just like the example on your screen. So sa madaling salita, gagawa kayo, magde-design kayo ng inyong pangalan or yung nickname, kung alin ang mas prefer nyo, na i-apply nyo yung different elements of art. So pagmasdan ng larawan, gumawa kayo ng sarili nyong disenyo, yung inyong unique work of art. Heto ang rubrics ng pagmamarka.